Will you put that thing away, please?
It's work-related, trust me.
Yeah.
It is work.
32 seconds. I have. Unbelievable.
Dave, I'm just glancing at it. I have a lot going on, trust me.
I'll try it. Nobody else does, Mr. Narcissist. Being paid $15 million an hour. Then I would feel like I am owned. Fine.
Agreed.
I'm bought and paid for.
For $1 million a year, I'd give that kind of service. $2 million, no problem. I'd give that.
So we all have a number.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, we all do. Except you may not realize it. I would probably do that for that kind of money. I would do it for like 5 years and then quit. I would have a plan, which would be after 3 years, 5 years, I'm done. I'm dropping off. I'm going to save as
You
much
know
as
what
I
would
can.
happen? You know what would happen? Is you would adjust your overhead, your lifestyle.
Maybe.
That would depend on that number.
Well, but maybe.
You're going to marry a woman who wants that lifestyle.
Not anymore.
Well,
based on what I know now, and what I've learned the last 2 years.
Don't you believe it?
Okay. I don't see myself probably getting that again ever. That I don't.
But that's not what you were saying a year ago.
No, that's changed too, though. I don't.
I'm just busting stuff.
No, I probably,
none of us know what the hell.
I mean, realistically, though, for me, when I think about things, I can't see the point. There's no point. Because, like you said, I've been there, I've done that. It's like, well, what am I doing? That's the truth.
That's why. I'll tell you, I know so many guys who've done that, and I'm like, do you guys...
But you know what? But here's the issue. I'm fine with that, because I don't ever want to do that again. Thank you. I'm all set with myself.
Yeah, he's going to take that, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Well, here's the thing, is we were just talking about tattoos.
Just me.
About how a tattoo is a permanent thing. Well, you just made a decision that's just as permanent.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Just not outwardly permanent.
Yeah. That's true. But, you know.
I just don't understand lock. I mean, if people have the ability to remain flexible, why, why?
You want to have options on that.
Yeah, right. You limit your options when you do. If you go in for a job and you have a Mike Tyson on your face,
your options are limited. You could be a UFC. You could be a UFC trainer. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go out and kill and intimidate people.
Well, no, I'm saying even be a trainer. Just hold the pads for the fighters all day.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not going to care. Yeah.
But if you go try to work at IBM, you're probably not going to get the job.
Yeah, the only way you work for IBM is maybe if you're a tremendous brainiac coder, and they can put you in the back room and just code all day, and you won't see anybody, maybe. But other than that, to your point, if you're in an office, you're in marketing, sales, finance, whatever, it's like, hey, can we have a meeting?
Yeah. Or I'll kill you. No, I'm just saying that to make decisions that lock you into a corner when you're not even sure where you're going. I mean, you can say, well, I know that I never would want that. Well, what if you met the woman of your dreams and she said, well, Dan, I really love you. You're everything I wanted. But if you met the woman of your dreams, you might.
Now I got to pay for college. I'd sound selfish till I'm 80.
What if she's a billionaire?
Good point.
That's what I'm saying. She's the woman of your dreams.
You want my answer? Those are reversible to an extent. But in hindsight,
why even?
I didn't expect to be in the position I'm in either. I didn't expect.
But that is the whole definition of why you don't lock yourself into permanent decisions.
I understand. I don't plan on having kids ever again. I thought about it long.
Would you tattoo a big L on your forehead?
No.
Why not? In a way, it's the same type of locked in.
It is in a way. But I thought about it long and hard before I did it.
As long as, and I'm not saying this to you, to me, it's a reflection of the arrogance of the decisions that we make, thinking that I'm set, my life's set, and then it's saying nothing in your life will ever change where you'd even ever want it again.
And then you could say that.
But a year ago you were saying you wanted to possibly get married again. This year you're not. And that's my point, is you have to first of all appreciate that life is rolling down the Mississippi River and that it's going to bounce you where it wants to send you.
That's why a guy who told me a long time ago, be the leaf on the river, that's what he meant, be the leaf on the river. Sometimes instead of fighting the current and where you're going, you just got to go with it. It's the yin and the yang,
I
right?
understand that, but saying these things and living, right?
I think to an extent I live.
And maybe that's when life's worst events happen, is when we are arrogant enough to try to buck the system, where we're going to force our will on the way things are going to happen, and then we realize that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'm not sure I would use your word arrogance. That's a little bit harsh.
What would you call it? Arrogance is the perfect word.
I don't fully agree with that. I don't fully agree. I made a decision at the time, based on the information I had at the time, based on what I knew and looking for.
What I mean by arrogance is you are there sitting saying you know what the future is. You don't know what the future is.
So let me finish what I was saying. At the time I made the best decision I thought, based on what I knew.
So obviously it's your life, that's the beauty of our lives. We have the ability to make those decisions.
Here's my answer to it. You want the answer? I mean, we're going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've made some poor decisions in my life. But at the end of the day, I believe, at least speaking for me, if I've made 1,000 decisions, I believe 51% of them, if not more, have been better versus worse. That's all you can hope for.
That's pretty good in baseball.
Yeah, that's all you can hope for, to have hopefully a winning record, or at least be 500. In life, you probably want to be, 60, 70% at least on average, right? Or 50 plus.
I'd like to be 100.
Well, 100 would be nice, but none of us are God, right?
No.
So all you can hope is you got some more W's up on the board than L's, I guess, right?
Yeah, I know. Things change. I mean, I was happy. I mean, I really was happy for a period of time working 100 hours a week. Imagine that.
Well, you know why? Because you already gave the answer. Because you were in a growth mode. You were building something. You enjoyed what you were doing. When you're achieving goals and you're doing what you want to do, right?
Yeah, I was following the dream, baby.
Right, and that's a good thing. And you're building something, then you're going to be happy. Sometimes you reach a point where things happen to you that's out of your control. Yeah. Or some of the things were in your control, but you made the wrong decision. It's called being a human being. I mean, if you live long enough, you're going to get nobody gets through this life totally unscathed.
Well, here's the other thing. The trips that I took, I filled my passport. And I realized that I hadn't even touched a fraction of the places that are out there. And that's not important to some people.
80% of the world is probably like that. You know? At least.
But the way I look at it, Dan, is as we get older, we're going to have less physical ability.
Yeah, that's true.
To be able to grind it out.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do know.
And so, if we don't, my attitude is now is if I don't do it now, I mean, the mistake I don't want to make. See, time is the variable we don't get back, and that's my biggest factor in decisions these days. I don't want to be one of these people who waits till they're 60, and you go to do it, and you find out you got terminal cancer, and you're dead in 6 months.
Right.
Gee, I'm glad I waited. Who would have thunk it? If I had only known.
Yep.
Well, that's the problem in most. If you factor in, you see, like you said, nobody knows the future.
Yeah, they don't.
So why are we living for the future? That's what we do in this country.
Yeah, that's true.
We live for the future. You live to make sure your children are, to make sure you have retirement money. I forget the exact number, but I think retirement saving has dropped.
I believe.
Yeah, and it's like, no shit, Sherlock. If these people can't even pay their bills, I don't think they're worrying about you know, when they're 65, be like, hey, do you know that if you give $6, the company gives you 3 for free? And they're like, no, I'm not interested. I'd be like, can you tell me why you don't want free money?
Yeah.
You know, it could turn around like what's happening with Detroit. Government can come along and say, Dan.
Confiscate it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. They could take, see, that's the scary thing, is if when you think about it, if you don't have cash in your hand right now, or gold or silver or whatever you have, the government could come along and take all of our money, because it's a digitized number right now.
Hypothetically, yeah. It's true.
But I don't have food stocked up,
Yep.
or water.
Yep.
We're all very vulnerable.
Don't get me going on that one. I already gave you a potential solution for that.
I didn't laugh at you. I laughed at your solution. Giving some kook $500 that you don't even know.
They know who he is.
Did you look up the alternatives?
No.
Well, there you go.
I'm not going to get what he's giving you for $500 a year supply of food anyway.
And that's exactly my point. It's too good to be true.
No, it's not. It's actually not.
Yeah. Well, did you do it? Did you do it? I told you could store it in my basement.
I'm probably going to do it, quite
Okay.
frankly.
All right, I'm going to head over to the bank.
Okay.
All right, I'll see.